So we move Saturday morning, the 20th, and it was great. The movers were fantastic. They went really fast. It was very stressful. Of course, my anxiety did not sleep because I just could not turn my brain off.
Not happening.
And so I'm running on just adrenaline and exhaust fumes. We finish moving. We want to have a nice dinner. We let ourselves have a little cheat meal. We ordered some pasta. We want to have a relaxing night and just kind of unpack what we need to and enjoy our first night in the new place. And our downstairs neighbor, who we met and knew we were moving in, it's only a 3-unit house, our 3 boys, and they decide to have a big giant karaoke party.
What?
They had at least 20 people over. We don't know ultimately how many people they had over. Definitely not pandemic friendly. They have a bunch of people over.
Oh my God.
And they start scream singing the most stereotypical whitest karaoke songs you could ever. Sweet Caroline and Springsteen and Frankie Valli. Even they sang Big Girls Don't Cry. In a group. En masse, sang. And not even really sang. It was more screaming with rhythm. And we could hear everything.
That's horrifying.
And of course, nothing was laid out in the apartment. And it turns out our walls and floors are pretty thin anyway. But everything we could hear. I was am I being punished? Am I cosmically being punished for something?
What did I murder in a previous life to be here right now?
It was terrible. And so we called the landlord and they felt really bad. They called the boys. They got 3 different phone calls from the landlord. Continued to sing regardless. They were just oh yeah, okay. And then would keep going. All because they said their roommate had just gotten back from being away for 6 months because he just graduated from police academy.
No!
I know. Should we do our intro first?
Let's do the whole, the Michigas.
Yeah, the Michigas.
Well,
I'll go off your cue.
Well,
oh shit, sorry.
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I'm Kate.
I'm Emily.
And this is the Witchcast podcast.
That's right. We are your hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast, a podcast all about learning to witch a little harder. Witch a little harder, better, faster, stronger.
Faster, stronger. I was just going to say
day.
Once my God.
We were baby witches. Now we are witches who are a little underinformed.
But we try. We try.
But learning and bringing you along with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes we have guests too, and that's fun.
Yeah. Sometimes we have people who really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have us who a little bit know what we're talking about and are certainly willing to do the Googling for you.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to look things up? Come here.
Come on down to the Witchcast podcast. We'll Google it for you.
But yes, spring, rebirth.
Spring. It's sprung. It's here,
sprung.
baby.
Wild. Birds are just going nuts. I don't know if you've noticed, but...
Oh, yeah. Chirp, 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 as my backyard says. Am I losing my mind? I'm so sorry.
Yes, my backyard sounds similar. Oh my God, I'm dying. Well, this will be released officially in the month of April, which is crazy.
That's
I feel like March for a long month went really fast.
I was going to say March felt like the longest month yet. Is that crazy?
I guess time's subjective, even? Right? It just depends on where you are.
I feel like there was something I was waiting for where I was watching the seconds tick the other day, and I was like, it's crazy how the last 10 seconds have been the same length as 2020.
Oof, that's long. Maybe you're a time witch.
Maybe I'm a time witch. I've always felt that I'm a little bit unstuck from time, but more in that I don't have a perception of it the way that other people seem to.
I wonder, you should try experimenting with that. If you have a deadline or something, could you manifest time to slow down a bit for you? Or if you're trying to get to something sooner, could you manifest time to speed up a little?
I think my entire 20s were making that experiment, and the answer is I have no control over time.
That's
Emily,
true.
brunch was at 11.
Okay, look. Brunch before 1 p.m. is just asking for people to be late.
Kate, I absolutely agree.
But anyway, we're here to talk about
Spring
and rebirth.
Yeah.
And okay, so I looked this up online, and I think it's pronounced Ostera, and I've been saying Ostera. Do you know how to say it?
I think, okay, so I don't know. I don't know. Let's go with Ostera. Sure.
Okay, we'll say Ostera.
Yeah. It's German, but it's like
Right.
It's like confused German a little bit.
Well, yeah, so I was looking up work. So that's what we're talking about today is a whole bunch of just springy, witchy stuff. And one of the things that I looked into was like the pagan, influences on Easter and Passover and spring in general. And like a lot of it comes from Germanic ancient times, which I did not know. I thought that was really cool.
Or certainly, like Easter, well, okay, and then so Passover, the unleavened bread thing, actually, there were like ancient Middle Eastern people that did unleavened bread in the spring. So they think that's where, that's probably where that came from. Like it was that everybody did spring feasts and the like ancient Jews were part of that. And then they were like, hey, we like this unleavened bread thing and added it into their Passover ceremony. But like Passover has been basically the same for like thousands of years, which is very cool.
Yeah. So take all of this. I think all of this is fascinating, and I love learning the history of our customs from today and how, how much they evolve and change. And like you said, like they take little bits from here and there. And so like the idea, I think, of anyone being super, staunch about any sort of religious practice to me makes me laugh, because nothing that we practice today is truly what it was in its origin, and that's not the point of human existence anyway, right? Like we're all supposed to evolve and change over time. But going back to Ostera, this was March 19th through the 23rd, so we passed it, but I do want to just quickly mention it because we talked about it a little in our last couple episodes. But it's between Imbolc and Beltane. It's one of the 3 spring festivals in the Wheel of the Year, which to me is like, that's a lot of spring festivals. Yeah. But
well, there's one every like few months throughout the year. It's easy to not notice, but they're like the equinox and the halfway between the equinox over and over again.
Yes. It just still feels like a lot to me, but like, because I feel like maybe it's because we live in the Northeast, but spring feels super short.
Yeah.
It's literally like you get 3 weeks maybe of nice springy weather, and then the rest is just like either cold, rainy, wintry stuff or like blazing hot summer.
I will say I was looking for like welcoming spring spells, and they were all like Imbolc, and I was like, February? It's barely spring now.
Right. I know. So I was having a hard time finding spells too. I did find one, and I'm curious what you found. We can talk about that.
Some stoof, but we'll get there when we get there.
But anyway, so just quickly about Ostera, it's the official beginning of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, which one of our listeners pointed out, we're celebrating the fall equinox in the Southern Hemisphere.
That's right.
Which we need to remember, Southern Hemisphere friends, it's completely the opposite. But for up in the north, vernal spring equinox is the moment of exact balance between light and dark time, which I didn't know that, or at least never really thought about that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it's a lot of the Wheel of the Year festivals, we don't really emphasize too much on the podcast because I think they're pretty rooted in Wiccan, practice, and we don't super identify as Wiccans, and I know a lot of our listeners don't either. But I think it's nice to know like kind of just these pagan origins. So in Wiccan mythology, they believe growing daylight is God, you have the male god and the female goddess. And so the god is kind of growing from infancy to maturity. He's getting bigger. And then the goddess is moving into her full power as her maiden aspect. And it's about, all spring stuff, bounty, greener pastures, fertility, rebirth, things are getting nice again, use fresh flowers and petals and stuff like that, pretty straightforward. But eggs are a big part of Ostera, which we'll talk about, and how that ties into Easter, as well as like sprouts and greens and seasonal crops. But yeah, I've been really enjoying eating like seeing what's fresher in the grocery store, getting excited about seasonal vegetables.
Seasonal eating is like, especially spring, summer, fall seasonal eating is like
yeah, because I don't know what your winter
harder.
seasonal eating is, but mine's pretty much just like pizza. It's like
yeah, my winter seasonal is takeout.
Yeah, it's just carbs. It's just a lot of bread.
Dark beers, red wine.
Yes. I definitely feel, and I love winter, and Matt loves the cold, and fall's my favorite season personally, but
yeah.
I will say there is something about spring where it is getting lighter and it is getting warmer that makes me feel better. I get more excited about life and like be like, oh, I'm gonna take a walk, like I'm gonna go outside and where I literally in the winter I'm like the hermit. I'm like, don't talk to me.
I feel exactly the same.
So anyway, I want to just quickly talk about some things that I found about researching Easter and Passover, because in the pagan origins of that, because I thought that was super interesting, and I won't go too in depth, honestly, because it's like a whole thing. But basically, Easter, as we know it today, was never actually truly itself a pagan festival, but its roots and a lot of the traditions associated with Easter have pagan roots. So according to New Unger's Bible Dictionary, the word Easter is of Saxon origin, and I'm going to mispronounce everything, so apologizing now. Eastra, the goddess of spring, who in whose honor sacrifices were offered about Passover time each year. By the 8th century, Anglo-Saxons had adopted the name to designate the celebration of Christ's resurrection. So again, this is all related. The big story about rebirth that some scholars believe was related, was maybe Easter and Passover were inspired by, is an ancient story from the Sumerians, which is a legend of Damuzi or Tammuz and his wife Inanna or Ishtar, which is a crazy story. I might do this for a story time another time because I don't really want to go into it, but it's called The Descent of Inanna, and it's badass, and it's kind of like kind of reminds me of the movie Hercules. But yeah, she like goes to hell to save her lover and comes back. Anyway, so it's all about rebirth. So that was, Dr. Tony Nugent of Seattle University thinks that might have, been inspired. Like the Jesus coming back to life might have been a little inspired about the story of Ishtar / Inanna. So also in terms of Easter as a celebration of spring, another related perspective is that Easter was originally a celebration of Eostre, the goddess of spring, also known as Ostera, Ostra, and Eastre. One of the most revered aspects about Ostera for both ancient and modern observer was that spirit of renewal. And it's celebrated at as we know, Ostera is celebrated at the spring equinox. In terms of its connection to Passover, some early Christians decided to actually, they're like, we're going to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus on the same day as Passover, just to be dicks, I guess. I don't know. But
so that was intentional? They were just like, rebirth, let's just, spring, we'll just put it all together. Same.
I mean, we know that Christianity has a repeated habit of taking existing holidays and then
an early example of them just being like...
Right. So there's evidence of a more developed Christian festival of Easter that emerged around the mid-2nd century in 325 AD. We're talking like this is late, early times.
Yeah.
Emperor Constantine convened a meeting of Christian leaders to resolve a dispute at the Council of Nicaea. It doesn't matter, these names. Anyway, the church was like, all right, cool. We believe that this resurrection of Jesus took place on Sunday. So we're just going to say that it's going to be the first Sunday after the first full moon and after the vernal equinox. Like they basically just arbitrarily picked this date, which is why Easter's a different day every year.
Love it. Yeah.
And in terms of the customs of Easter, the rabbit and the egg, hair is a symbol associated with Eostre, representing the beginning of springtime. We all know rabbits also represent like fertility, as do eggs. In Germanic mythology, it says that Ostera healed a wounded bird she found in the woods by changing it into a hare. Still partially a bird, the hare showed its gratitude to the goddess by laying eggs as gifts. which is crazy to me. So the Encyclopedia Britannica explains that the pagan tradition associated with the egg is a symbol of fertility and renewed life, goes back to the ancient Egyptians and Persians, who also had the custom of coloring and eating eggs during their spring festival. In ancient Egypt, an egg symbolized the sun, while for the Babylonians, the egg represents the hatching of the Venus Ishtar, who fell from the heaven of Euphrates. That story I didn't tell you, but you can go look it up or I'll tell it later. And then the first egg-toting Easter bunny came from a German text dating to 1572 AD, which is nuts. And then by the 19th century, shops are selling what we know, the chocolate rabbits, and then, Easter eggs.
It's so bananas how it's all just like all over the world. People were like, egg, rebirth.
I mean,
spring,
it makes sense. It literally
flowers.
is. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Colors
lot of super common
flowers.
imagery.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like, because I don't know. I don't know. It's all tangled up together in a really interesting way. So the Library of Congress has an article about how Austria and the hare are not as ancient or as modern as a lot of people think. And that it's actually Austria, the name, was first written down in 1835 by a German guy. And people think that he was guessing, kind of, because he proposed that Eostre must have been a local version of a more widespread Germanic goddess who he named Austria. And that was the first. Oh. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, wow. I mean, that also makes a lot of sense. A lot of the stuff that we've learned about in even modern witch lore is relatively new still.
Yeah.
The names and stuff that we use.
Eostre existed, but Austria was a Dutch or a German guy in 1835 being like, I'm pretty sure there was another one. Eostre is a mini one that just means Austria. Yeah, Austria. That sounds good.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'll send you this link because it's really interesting in terms of like dispelling myths around Ostera, but I feel like not knowing that much about Ostera in the first place is a little overwhelming. But it's really interesting, and it talks about like how the hare got involved. But it sounds like there are a lot of things that aren't here also. But the egg is obviously because they also do an egg at Passover, but that's like the Seder plate has like a lamb shank, an egg, and a bunch of other stuff, like parsley, and you dip it in salt water, which, like, I mean, it's just so interesting how it all overlaps, because, like, for witch stuff, they're like, make a spring altar. It could be, like, a plate. Put
that sounds super witchy.
Herbs on it, and, like, make salt water, cleanse your house. And it's, like, it's all just the same, like, root, you know?
Yeah. I
but
think this is
celebrating different things. And obviously Passover has a bunch of other like Jewish traditions about Moses and the ancient Egyptians exiting Egypt, but also they're not sure if that ever happened. Like,
oh no, really?
Oh yeah, we talk about it at Passover every year with Dan's family. It's just like, also they're pretty sure this isn't true. Like, but we talk about it as a way to talk about helping people who are, you know, people that aren't free, like, you know, we should help them. And like, you know, this celebration is also just something about like passing down from person to person. You could go to, the Passover tradition is so like kind of tightly held that there was a New York Times, I want to say, article about how you could go to one in like 13th century Spain, or you could go to one in like, you know, the 1700s in Germany, and if you've been to Passover, you would basically recognize what was happening.
That's awesome.
Which is really cool. Yeah.
That's super cool. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think all the stories in the Bible are stories, and we tell stories to pass along messages, to communicate, to share, right? And so that doesn't necessarily, and as we know, what is true, actual, unaltered reality is pretty impossible to know, because it's always from someone's perspective, and there's always something that's going to be a little bit subjective.
Yeah, and the more time passes, the more lenses get added, and the more,
absolutely.
You know,
I just want to say one more thing about the eggs, because I'm like fascinated. One, I just love eggs.
Eggs are great.
Eggs are so good. But one thing I noticed in a lot of the spells I was looking up was saying to dye the eggs red. And so I guess originally for in early Christianity, the egg became a symbol of the tomb and where the body of Jesus was placed.
Ooh.
And cracking the egg represented his resurrection. So in Orthodox tradition, eggs are painted red to symbolize the blood Jesus shed on the cross. Because as we know, Christianity loves to be super metal.
Boy. They love drama.
Yeah, but I also wonder if maybe because I saw like dyeing eggs red in other pagan spells, I wonder if maybe that all kind of, like we said, kind of got people interpreted the red in different ways, but maybe the red symbolizes fertility, symbolizes new life, new blood,
of birth.
rebirth. Yeah, but it's the idea of a round, endless, object that's full of the promise of life,
Love it.
And
Love it.
Tastes delicious.
And delicious.
They're so versatile.
So versatile, eggs. You
What
could
is
do
that
so many things with them.
There's like some Joker saying, I don't know if it's by a comedian, and I'm not trying to steal it because it's not my original thought, but someone said something where it's like flying in airplanes and eating eggs are the two things you can't think too hard about, otherwise you'll never be able to do it again. I don't know. I mean, I still like eggs.
Yeah, I know. I've thought about it. I see it. I keep going.
I mean, yeah. It's not any worse than any of the other, like, animal products we eat.
Right, yeah. It's like, what are you going to do?
Go vegan. You could.
You could go vegan. That is on the table. Anyway. So I found an article that I liked that is super simple, basic overview-y, but I thought I'd read a little section from, called What the Spring Equinox Means for Witches by Severina Sosa.
Nice.
And so it just talks about, like, if you want to look at it later, I'll send Kate. Kate, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, I'll post all this stuff, yeah.
So it talks about, like, March's spring equinox is the first day of spring, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about this, we know. What the equinox represents magically. After the spring equinox, the days get longer as the strength of the sun slowly grows. You can look to use this time to honor all new life and any new ideas. Thanks to the spring equinox, we'll see earlier sunrises, later sunsets, and growing life. Enjoy planting seeds of your favorite herbs, and don't forget to include your intentions. Later this year, you'll reap the benefits of this planting. During the spring equinox, it's time to rejoice. During the spring equinox, it's time to rejoice. Though there are dark times, the sun, that represents life and vitality, is not defeated. And then, it goes on to talk about Austria as a time of renewal, balance, and rebirth, and that some witches and modern pagans take time to celebrate the new life that surrounds them in nature. Stand in nature, lay in the grass, or hike through a forest to feel the awakening energy of the earth. And it says, don't worry about not being able to celebrate exactly on the date. Just welcome spring with open arms. And then it suggests things like celebrate the changing seasons by setting up your spring altar, perform growth or balance rituals, pull tarot cards, get crafty with flowers and herbs, strengthen your connection to the divine goddess, or the goddess Eostre, or honor the traditions that are special to you. Take a look at nature near you. Do you see new growth? What about chirping birds? For me, it's also a time of seeing new fawns. I guess this person must live near deer. During the springtime, white-tailed doe tend to have their young. And then there's just, like, ideas for spell topics and that kind of thing. It's a super basic overview, but I thought, yeah, that pretty much sums up what I was going to say.
That's great. Yeah, please send. I'll link it in the website. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I went hunting. I went hunting for things that could be springy. Ideas for herbs, ideas for flowers for your altar, and other things for your altar, some spells, and some crystal ideas. Okay, so here we go. Herb ideas. I read a bunch of articles and wrote down the ones I liked. Nettle,
I love this.
for bravery. Honeysuckle for love, because it's horny season. Cedar for wealth, protection, renewal, and cleansing. And people also recommend using cedar instead of sage or Palo Santo if you are looking for an alternate. Palo Santo? Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain was like, no, Emily, Palo Alto. And I was like, no, that's a place.
No, you're right. Palo Santo. Yeah. That's a
So
good
cedar
idea.
as an option if you want to swap out, because trees are also like the mavens of spring, being like, we're growing, bitches. Like that's, I don't know, that's what I imagine trees do for the rest of the, let's go. I'm doing
to
little
live in
roots with
your
my
head.
hands. Dandelions for adaptability and strength.
Oh,
Rosemary for positivity, well-roundedness, and deep sleep. And basil for healing, prosperity, and love. Those are your suggested herbs. And then in terms of like some flowers that could maybe be helpful for decorating your altar or other similar things, we've got daffodils are obviously very springy. Tulips. Crocuses could be very fun because they're kind of like the scrappy, them and dandelions are like the scrappy bulbs of spring, you know?
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
I feel like crocuses are just kind of everywhere in Nova Scotia. I don't know if that's maybe it's the further north
Nova
you get.
Scotia is a beautiful, magical land.
It's a weird spot.
Full
Those
of
are like
flowers.
the only flowers we get though. So which is why
That's
I know
so
them so
funny.
well.
I think of crocuses of like very fancy Eastery flowers to me.
Interesting.
That's, yeah. But good to know they can be hardy. Maybe I'll try and grow some.
Yeah, give it a shot. Lavender. I actually don't know what lavender has to do with spring, but it was in like half of the spells I looked at. So I'm going with it. I'm passing the information along to you. Do with it as you will. Roses obviously start to kind of come out. Well, more summer, but like they're on their way. Strawberries also summer coming soon. People also suggested using silk flowers if you don't have access to fresh flowers or want something to last all season on your altar. And
That's
young
nice.
plants, like bringing in like a baby herb plant or whatever you want. You know, now's a good time to add that to your altar and grow it for the year. You know, maybe it's
Cute.
time for Ruth Basil Ginsburg too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should too. My basil has gotten so big. I've had to put chopsticks in him to help him like stand up because he's just
Yeah,
going
buddy,
nuts.
get it.
I also never prune him, which I really should. Yeah, but that's a great list. I was like, oh, I have access to some of these, and actually, Matt's mom just gave us like one of those hydroponic like herb planters, you know, where it has like the light on top, and
Oh yeah,
it's very fancy. So Matt put that together the other night, and we're growing some peppers and some herbs. I'm very excited.
Let
to
me
see
know
them
how that
sprout.
goes because I want one of those.
Yeah, I will. I'm nervous it won't work, but I'm trying to stay hopeful.
I'll have my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah. And now that go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk more about my life.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, I'll come back to it. You go keep talking about spring stuff.
Yeah, and then, so I was going to say also, if you wanted to include in one of your spells an egg, you could totally bring eggs into your practice or onto your altar. I mean, don't leave eggs out for too long, but like you could
Yeah.
certainly bring it over for a spell or use it for magic, because we know that there are a lot of egg-related magic things you can do.
Yeah.
And also, if you wanted to, you could toss if you're a bone person, a bone collector, which I know some people are, not all of us, but
Yeah.
some of us, a bone on the altar to represent, as like a nod to like, thanks winter, like we got through you, and like, thanks for the gifts that came with you, and like, we're moving forward now, is like all the things that like had to die for this new year to exist kind of thing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I liked that idea too.
That's awesome.
And then lastly, I have some crystal ideas
Yes.
for spring. Green aventurine is a good spring one for prosperity, well-being, calm, comfort, compassion, and growth. And then labradorite is good for transformation, banishing fear and insecurity, and getting unstuck. Carnelian is one that some people recommended as a friend for creativity. It's like a fiery stone. It's good for healing and also passion. And then always a little bit of quartz, a little bit of amethyst could be nice, you know, right colors for the season if you want to go some pastels, or you can just do clarity, you know, like.
Yeah, can always love to have good amethyst and quartz around.
Yeah. And that's my list of things you could use for witchcraft this spring.
That's great. That's a really good list. And I was like checking off in my head. I was like, I have that. I have that.
Yeah, doable.
Maybe I'll do a ritual tonight.
Yeah.
I'm inspired, Em.
Hell yeah. All right, so this is actually from a website called bombalore.com.
Ooh.
I'm going to be straight up. I don't know that much about this website, but I really liked this spell, so I'm just going with it and sharing it. You know, follow your heart in terms of what you're comfortable with from internet resources, but I think this one seems pretty nice. It's called A Welcoming Ritual for Spring. And they also link to an autumn welcoming ritual if you're in the southern hemisphere, which is handy too. Nice. So, set aside 1 hour of time for this special ceremony. Read through this ritual before beginning. Okay, done. Choose one place in your home for a small seasonal altar. Check. Before you begin, gather a few things you already own that remind you of new beginnings, of how far you have come, or that remind you of your dearest vision for your life. Love that. Also gather, if you can, one candle. Check. They say tea or LED light. I would say, go fire if you can get it, but sure, LED light. They say if you feel called to, add a small piece of wood to your altar. As you know, I'm into this. I believe that trees are somehow encouraging the other plants to grow. I don't know where I got that from. It's in my mind. We're going with it. Set things up in a way that feels lovely to you. There is no right way. If you already have an altar set up, lovingly remove all the items, wash, dust, cleanse them, and then put back only the ones you feel called to put back before adding your new spring items. Sit in quiet meditation, just being with your breath. Allow the highlights of this last season to gently wash over you, as well as any challenges. Let go, one by one, of any instances, memories, and fears you're still holding on to from last season. Thank winter in your own way for its gifts. Ask that its most important lessons stay with you throughout the year, and say goodbye for now. Come back to your breath. Welcome spring. Thank spring for returning. Ask in your own way for spring to show you its gifts and encourage and support you and your work in the coming months. Choose something simple and natural to bring on your walk as an offering. A little water, maybe. They say or salt, but they have you throw things on the ground, and I feel like salting the earth feels violent. So I'm going to say water, but do what you want. Prepare for your walk. Take your time to put your take your time, put your shoes on, etc. Go outside.
Oh, good.
Etc., etc.
Glad they told me all this.
So you go outside for a walk and let your heart guide you. Notice things. Say hello to beings that are human and also those that are not human. For example, birds. Chirp, 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 chirp. You're going to receive at least one natural item for your altar while on your walk. Let them come to you. You will know them when you see them. Thank the land, and especially the trees, stewards of spring's upward growth, for these gifts. Leave a little bit of water, salt, or other offering you brought anytime you receive a gift from nature. And I just mean, don't be putting salt in your neighbor's gardens. It's not nice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you find something nice in the world, water sounds like a good idea.
And it's easy. You just bring a bottle of water with you. How easy is that?
Yeah, you're basically being your own April shower to bring additional May flowers.
Love it.
And then return home when you feel ready, add the items to your altar, thank nature again for these gifts, and let the warm, fresh energy of a spring day wash over you. Jot down any insights. As spring continues, refresh or add to your altar as you feel called to. Nature seems to love to be honored in this way. And they also suggest celebrating the arrival of spring with friends and a bright, healthful meal, or having a dance party. So obviously this was not written this year.
Well, maybe with the ones you're sheltering in place with.
Yeah.
Or yourself.
A bright, healthful meal, and you can have a solo dance party,
that sounds all of that sounds just lovely. What a great weekend that could be.
What a lovely day. What a lovely weekend. I'm all for it. I
do that.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of a mindful walk, of paying attention to your surroundings, taking in the messages that nature has to give you, and seeing what comes to you as a gift. I love that. How cute.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm
that
very
this
into it.
weekend.
And it's just a gentle, it's basically just meditation and go for a walk plus like your altar and stuff. But like it's not like a big, get everything together.
Woo woo, yeah.
Yeah. But like it's a nice little meditation on like welcoming spring in and just like saying goodbye to the old and thanking it for being around and then moving forward into the world and greeting the local dogs and all that.
Tip of the hat.
A tip of the hat to my favorite French bulldog.
my good lady. I love it. I think it sounds lovely. I have a short spell that's a little bit more traditional in terms of method.
Yeah,
but,
hit me.
It's from Llewellyn. It's called Quicken Your Spirit. It's from Naja Lightfoot. And it's about using the energy of Ostara and the spring equinox to quicken your spirit and renew your energy, because I could really use that because I've been so tired.
Oh.
So gather some salt, 2 cups of warm water, a yellow candle, and your favorite invigorating scent, such as eucalyptus, pine, rosemary. Mm-hmm. Take 3 pinches of salt, add them to the water, and anoint your candle with your scent. Then light the candle and shed your clothes. Maybe do this in a private place. Use the salt water to scrub your body. Actually, I was thinking, I could do this like in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And that would be like a safe place. So use the salt water just to scrub your body as you stand before the flame and evoke the spirit of spring, saying, "Anew am I, my flesh is alive and my spirit is quickened. Gone are the dark days, I am renewed and reborn. Blessed be the spring." And allow your candle to burn out safely and anoint yourself with a refreshing scent. It's just a nice little cleansing ritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
I like that. I'll be reborn.
Yeah.
Little
My new
bath.
place has a bathtub with jets. I can't wait to take my first
Oh,
cleansing
you
bath.
lucky ducky.
I know. I'm
Quack,
so
quack.
excited. Chirp, 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 chirp.
Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp.
Oh my goodness. That's the episode title. Did you have anything else you wanted to share? Or do you want to draw a card?
Let's draw that card.
All right. Do you want to draw one or should I? I'm just trying to think of what decks we have that are like springy.
I could do a bird one, or we could do one of your goddess ones, or we could do the druid one, but I feel like we just did the druid one.
Yeah, I think we did that one recently. What was the first one you said you cut out a little bit?
Oh, I could do a bird guy.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Absolutely do a bird deck pull, please and thank you. I love that deck.
It's a great deck. All right, we're looking at the Winged Enchantment Oracle deck, written by Leslie Morrison, artwork by Lisa Hunt. Get a little ASMR shuffling in here.
I love it.
I'm looking and I'm choosing this one. Oh, how cute! It's very springy. It's the Sparrow.
Nice. We've never had that one before. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
She
Wait,
looks
is this
like
better?
Dorothy.
Right? She's so cute. It's a little
That's
girl.
so cute.
And I have a bunch of sparrows in my backyard all the time. Because, they're
Any
like
hawks?
the little... Yeah. Oh my god, we've had so many birds. We have cardinals, blue jays, hawks, pigeons,
Really?
chickadees, sparrows. I'm here just like looking out the window at the birds, being like, blue jay!
Such a bird nerd. I love it.
Such a bird nerd, but like very happy bird nerd.
I love that about you.
I like birds. All right, so the sparrow.
Yeah, what does it say?
It says, I am Sparrow, the enlightenment of self-worth. I am pride in simplicity and honor in the commonplace. I am the one standing vigilant. I am power in numbers and the contentment of being a part of the larger whole. Much of human endeavor thrives on originality, on standing out boldly from the crowd. My wisdom encourages the acknowledgement of the role of community and family to shape your personal destiny.
Yeah.
You cannot always fly solo. You cannot neglect the threads that bind it all together. You are approaching a time that will require a group effort and a need to blend in while fostering your imprint on the world. It is a mighty gift to flit about the world unseen, and a greater gift to know you have flocks behind you if you need them. You need to pull back, regroup, and find the common ground. You are engaging humanity. You are part of something great. You are open. You are Sparrow. That's really nice.
I love that. That's so sweet. I think that's something, especially like in the Western world, we don't talk about much, is this, like, the community in the sense of the whole
Yeah.
being, versus our own sense of independence. I'm very, very much of the singular independent, I'm a unique snowflake American mindset.
Right.
And trying hard to let that go and be like, no, it's okay to be part of a community. It's okay to be part of a whole and blend in a little. I think that's a really nice lesson to think about.
Yeah. It's also something that they've been talking about a lot on Naruto, the anime that I've now watched like 600 episodes of since December 1st.
Oh my god, are you still only watching that show?
Well, now we've watched most of the most recent season of The Expanse, too.
Okay, so you're diversifying your TV portfolio a little bit. Okay.
But yeah, it's a big, the will of fire to protect the community. The king is the children who will take over the village when we're gone. It's a big running theme.
Nice. All right, well, I think that was a lovely card to think about, and we'll post, as usual, on our Instagram. We'll post all the links to the articles and spells we talked about on our website. So please follow us at Witchcast Podcast on Instagram, and you can email us at witchcastpodcast@gmail.com or check out our website at witchcastpodcast.com, and maybe give us a little review, a little rating, a little
Kate,
comment,
what a great idea. You're
word of
telling me that if our fans wanted to, they could go subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and give us a little rating and review, and that would be very nice?
That is right, Emily. That is what I'm saying.
Wow. Something to think about, folks.
Truly extraordinary. And I guess we'll see you next time.
And until next time.
And
Hex yeah!
Hex yeah!
'Cause it's Witchcast.
I've become obsessed. I bought a bunch of fake plants from Michael's, and
Ooh.
I have my crystals all out everywhere now. I just really want my apartment to look like a super clean, organized Urban Outfitters meets Container Store fantasy.
That's what I want to. I just want to be an Etsy ad.
Yeah.
I just want this whole apartment to be you walk in and you're like, oh, wow.
Yes.
A little upset because it's so well put together.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Me too. I want to live in what I envy.